First mantra. First mantra is the entire Upanishad. So what we saw last time was sadhana chatushtaya. Sadhak approaches a teacher. That is very important. So, and the sadhana chatushtaya means vivek, vairagya, mumukshatva, shata sampatti and mumukshatva. So this sadhak approaches a guru and says that I want total fulfillment because now I've experienced the world, jagatyam jagata. I have seen all the joys possible in relationship, fame, power, object, situations, family, etc. But now I'm seeking total fulfillment. So the first mantra is for a sadhak who wants total fulfillment. That is very important because this is a very important aspect, because the second mantra, what we are going to see, is for a madhyam adhikari. First mantra is for uttam adhikari. So the guru says immediately, okay, you want total fulfillment? Isavasyam idagam sarvam. Pervade this world by the Isha. Jagatyam jagat. How? By having a vision of oneness. How? By realizing that Isha, self, is a substratum of the world and world is only an appearance. How to do that? Renounce the false vision of division, renounce identification with BMI, renounce the three desires. So that is the person who is a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, which we have to become. The degree to which I am not sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, I will be frustrated, irritated, experiencing sorrow, bhaya, moha. And protect yourself from getting caught up in this false appearance. So this is a very important aspect, that Jagat is neither a creation, neither a modification, neither another aspect of the cause, but it is only superimposed. It is only an appearance, like the movie appearing on the screen, like the mirage water appearing on the sand, like the snake appearing on the rope. Nothing happens to the rope, nothing happens to the screen, nothing happens to the sand. Not even an iota the sand gets wet. Not even an iota the screen feels the emotions of the movie going on. Dukkha or sukha. Very important to note, because we get carried away by the movie. We get carried away by the mirage water. We get carried away by the snake vision. Similarly, we get carried away by Jagatyam Jagata. And do not covet anything. Why? Because everything belongs to Isha, the ruler. So this mantra is for the person, for a sadhak who is ready. Because a person who approaches a guru with this thought has already renounced everything. But there are other sadhaks. So in this point is very important, that the next mantra and the first mantra, this covers the major portion of the Upanishad, because in our Vedas also, Jnana Marga is mentioned in the first year in this Upanishad, and the second mantra is going to tell us the Karma Marga. So both are important, and then we will see what is the significance of these two from the 9th mantra. So now, all of us would say that I am listening to Upanishad, definitely, because you are taking Isavasya Upanishad. And I am also listening to this Upanishad because I listen to so many Swamis and then prepare all this PPT. So we are all coming into this. But actually speaking, I am more into action orientation. Suppose we see ourselves morning to evening, what next? What next? And people I have seen after a lot of retirement also, they say, I'm busy. Busy with what? Karma only. Morning to evening, karma, karma, karma. So I am not yet ready for renouncing, because I am a karma sakta person. I want to act. Second, I am not ready to give up whatever you mentioned, because I am having a family, I am having a job, I am having a business. I cannot renounce. Guruji says it is very easy to get jnana, to understand, but very difficult. It takes time to get vairagya. So we should pray whenever we meet any sadhu, santa. And what we should ask, one day when I was sitting with Guruji, he told we must be intelligent to ask, whether we don't ask from outside, but internally we must be intelligent to ask when we meet a sadhu or a sannyasi. Because what a sadhu and sannyasi has, we must ask that from that person. No, when I will get married, when my children will get married, when I will get cured. This sadhu santa, what he will tell? He will say something. But what a sadhu santa has in abundance is jnana, vairagya, shanti. These three things a sadhu sannyasi has. So internally also we must ask whenever we meet a sannyasi that please bless me with jnana, vairagya, shanti, because these three are the qualification of a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna who seeks this Isha. And that's the reason even after knowing Isha, again my mind goes into Jagatyam Jagat. So and I have desires, I cannot renounce. Right now I am not the adhikari. Right now I am more into action orientation. Then what to do? So this second mantra is given for the people who are madhyam adhikari, who has rajas. So many of us, like Vedji says that as we have come to second mantra and we are listening, we are into madhyam adhikari. Otherwise, the person who is in uttam adhikari will not even look at second mantra and forward. Ho gaya kaam. Isavasya idagam sarvam ho gaya. Renounced everything, sat, realized. No need of searching anywhere else because मैं तो तेरे पास हूं, मैं तो विश्वास में हूं. Kabir says, where to search outside? So now the second mantra is for all these people who have desires, some desires led, but good desires, vasanas are there, action orientation is there, and not yet ready for renunciation of false. So now the mantra says, Kurvan eva iha. Kurvan eva iha karmani. So this is a very important word. Here karmani means work, action, but the main meaning what is being mentioned here is duty. Jiji visheta shatakam sama evam tvai. Anyatha itha asti na karma lipyate nare. So what is the meaning of this mantra? Then we are going to analyze word by word. That, okay, I am not ready to renounce. So here what has been mentioned, then if you have a desire to live for 100 years, no, I don't want to live for 100 years, but here it is mentioned that we should live for 100 years. Jiji Vishet. I think we have one person in our committee called as Jija. So maybe Jiji Vishet, we should ask whether it is related. Desire to live 100 years. If one wants to live for 100 years, then live performing your work, actions, duty properly. Very, 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 very important mantra. Because why it is very important? Because Bhagavan says this is the only way. There is no other path. Eveha alone. This is the only path available for us now. So either I am available for meditation or I must be interested to live for 100 years. Suppose I have a desire, which I am having. No one wants to die is very clear. Then the only way available for us is to do our duty properly. If we do not do, then na karma lipyate, that karma will bind us. And that is one answer which many people ask, no, but I am doing my duty. No, I am doing my duty as a wife. I cook food. I am as a mother, I'm doing duty as a father, I'm doing duty as a grandmother. But still, why I'm not peaceful? Because I am not doing duty actually. I am doing karma. I am not doing duty as mentioned by our Vedas. So now we are going to see that what Bhagavan is mentioning here, and we have to now little bit analyze on the duty aspect. What exactly is duty? Because now it is also coming in Upanishads. So first mantra, renunciation is suggested as a method. Path of jnana, path of renunciation. Second mantra, the method suggested is path of action, path of duty. So Guruji says these are the two very important aspects for us mentioned in the Vedas also. Either you meditate by renouncing everything, or you do your duty properly. Because this is the only method for a sadhak available. So why? So first let us analyze word by word now. Jiji Vishay. Why 100 years mentioned? Because human being is a karma yoni. All other yonis are bhogavya yoni, including devatas. Once the credit card is over, I have to again come back to Bhulok. Only here we are given a choice. So why I want to live for 100 years? Because human desire is, I want to live, I want to know, I want to be happy. These are the three natural desires. No one wants to die is a absolute truth. So let us take some people who wants to do suicide. Somebody says, no, now I am bored because, my body is not working. Now there is no office, there is no family, there is nothing to do. Then I want to die now. There is no purpose in living. But that I am saying because I don't have a healthy body, I don't have a family. Suppose God comes and says, okay, I will give you a healthy body of 25 years. I will give your family. I will give you this. Yeah. Then I want to live. So because I am not having something, the thought comes of dying. Because thought of dying cannot come even from the Vedantic point of view, because my real nature is pure existence. I cannot imagine even in my dream, I am not. Because the main thought which doesn't require any other conditioning is I am. I am comes naturally. And on that Ramana Maharshi says you focus on, because I am thought will always be there. I am not, thought cannot come to my mind. So Guruji gives one interesting story, or one person wants to do suicide. So he writes a note that I'm not blaming anybody, so and so in the family, don't catch anybody. Then he says, okay, now before going to, before taking that action, I will just go and visit that temple last, and then I will die, either going under the railway track or consuming poison or jumping from 19th floor. So he visits the temple and starts walking, and then suddenly he finds one suitcase, and he opens the suitcase. In that suitcase, there are $1 billion. And then he realizes, actually, I wanted to die because I had no money to feed my family. I had no money to, do a lot of things. And then I was so bored that I had no option left, that I had no money to do many things. So money was not what I was not having. And suddenly, he realized that he has got the money and he can do all the things. And suddenly then he realized that, but I have left the note. So he takes the suitcase and comes home. And by the time the people at home already have read the note that he is gone for suicide. And when they see him back, they get afraid that this is a bhoot. And they answer, why have you come back? We were already preparing for everything. Nyate vitte ka sansara. When vitta goes, sansara also goes away. People cry only for one day, half a day, but they will have breakfast, they will have dinner, next day they will laugh, they will look at WhatsApp. So this is a basic human desire that I want to live. So our Shastra says, Shatayushi. Now why Shatayushi? Because Bhagavan says that I have given you 4 ashrams. Guruji says the general tendency is to live without doing any work. But I don't want to work. I don't want any work. I am bored with work. I don't want to do any household work. I don't want to do any job work. I don't want to do any work. But I want to live. For these people, third mantra is given. Third mantra is for these people, that I want to live but not doing any work. I don't want to do any duty. So I don't want to do any duty for my body, for my mind, for my intellect, which I have taken on rent from God, so I have to return. So why Shatayushi? Because 4 ashrams are mentioned 25 years each. So now the Shatayushi has become 80 years. So we say 20 years for each. Fully active life. So nobody can say I am retired. Nobody should say now what can I do, because 4 ashrams are mentioned that there is no retirement for a human being. No boredom, no dullness. And 4 ashrams are given for shifting from clear path to gross to subtle happiness. 50 years Prakruti, 50 years Nivrutti. It has been mentioned after the grandchild becomes 10-year-old, I must renounce all my duties mentally. If I am unable to do physically, mentally I must say, this is not my duty, just because I am just doing it just for the sake
50
of
50 years pravrutti, na?
50 years pravrutti, 50 years nivrutti. And what are the 4 ashrams that we all know? In English, learning, first ashram, brahmacharya, second earning, grihasthashram, enjoying, and then realizing. Vanaprastha means I withdraw, and then I only go for realizing the Isha. Learning, earning, enjoying, then U-turn. Enjoying means U-turn, and enjoying the silence, enjoying the Nivrutti Marga. So in entire Vedas, Pravrutti Marga and Nivrutti Marga are given. And what has been mentioned now, why this verse is very important in all these ashrams, Lord is saying here in the Upanishad that live a God-centered life in all ashram by doing your duty. So suppose I am in grihasthashram, I must do grihasthashram duty. But I don't let go grihasthashram because I don't take vanaprastha. Vanaprastha is after 50 or 60. So mentally I must withdraw everything and focus on studies, focus on japa, focus on no, but I don't have time, but I can definitely, then I should withdraw some of the actions which I am doing and then focus my attention on this. But if I am not able to do, then this mantra is there, that then you do your duty properly. Then by doing the duty properly, I will be eligible to become Uttamadhikari. So now we have to analyze very important word, karmani. So karmani means duty. Here karma means action also, but here what is mentioned is duty. The dhatu here is kru. So what is important, what Guruji says, that kru dhatu means, the meaning is that doing action for others. So we must ask oneself that how my actions will benefit others must be the attitude in every action. Very, 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 very important aspect. How this action is going to benefit me? No, I want to withdraw. I don't want to do any actions. No, here you are supposed to do actions. If I am withdrawing, pratyavaya dosh will come, that I am not doing my duty towards family, towards organization, towards society, towards nation. All these duties are there. I am taking so much from others, but I am not doing my duty towards others. So one question I must ask in karmani, kru dhatu, is that how my actions are going to benefit others. Actions means not only physical, but words, actions, emotions, they must benefit others. What is the definition of duty? Very important, very interesting. Every action which helps me to manifest my divinity and real nature and leads me towards the goal of life is the definition of duty. Now, this answers many questions what many people have asked me, that I am doing my duty, but still I am not having peace, because in spite of doing this duty for family, for others, I am still not having peace of mind. I am having stress. My body is becoming weak. My mind is becoming frustrated. My mind is becoming irritated. So that means I am not doing the duty properly with the right attitude. And I must ask, by doing this duty, do I remember God? Do I remember the truth? Do I remember Isha? The moment the duty is over by one hand, do a second hand, does it remember the Isha? The truth, the goal. Whether slowly I am becoming, whether my chitta is becoming Shuddha, whether my chitta is becoming Ekagra, that I must ask. If it is not becoming, then we are going to revise, then we have to definitely go to Karma Yoga. Principles of Karma Yoga. Again and again, every day I must read. Every day I must read Karma Yoga principles. Every day. Because I might do the duty thinking that this is a right duty, what Arjun thought. But Bhagavan is saying in the Upanishad, very important point, that if you do not do it, then you will get bound. Karmanneva adhikaraste, do your duty and let go results. And in Akhanda Mandala Karam also it says that karma is that what binds you. So what are the two principles of duty whenever we are doing action? There must be freedom and love in that duty. And secondly, there must be detachment and peace. So freedom comes when there is love. Love comes when there is freedom. And there will be peace when detachment comes. So do I do my actions out of complete freedom, or it is out of boredom, or is it compulsion, or is it social pressure, or it's somebody will say something, so I am doing, or is there a lot of love in doing that action? Or I feel so nervous, so anxious that what will be the result, what will be the result, what will people say about everything what I do, then I'm not doing the duty because this duty is going to bind me. Some people are more very anxious that what will happen if I do this, what will be the result? What will people talk, whether I will get it or no? So that detachment aspect is not there in the karma. So this duty is not very easy to understand. One day we will understand God, moksha, everything, but what is my duty in that situation and how to do is again and again. Guruji says many times that again and again after long time we suddenly realize that what is the meaning of karma, what is the meaning of karma yoga. Takes a lot of time to understand karma yoga. So what is the purpose of duty? So we are dissecting karmani shabda. Purpose of duty is to evaporate vasana, chitta shuddhi. Selflessness increases. Strive to become uttam adhikari, that is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna. So I must ask every day whether my mind has become quieter than yesterday, whether I get upset very easily, how do I talk to others, whether it is, upset tone or bored tone or loud tone, or is it peaceful, detached with love? Sometimes I must tape whatever I'm talking to others, recording calls and check how my words are sounded to others, how they are sounding to others. And after that conversation is over, after that duty is over, in the evening when I go to sleep, when I close my eyes, whether my mind quietens ASAP or so many thoughts come which upsets me. If the second thing is there, that means I am not following the duty what is mentioned in the Upanishad, and it is going to bind us, and then we will wonder that in spite of doing all right things, still I will have another life, still I will be bound, still another thing. So spirituality in one line means when I close my eyes, there is peace. And when I open my eyes, there is selflessness, service. That's all. So I must check the parameter when I open my eyes and transact, whether that selfless service is coming most of the time, where there is love and I am free to do. Gurudev had freedom to do. So he always used to say that the more I do, the more I want to do. Here a little bit I do and I don't want to do it again. No freedom. If I do not do my duty properly, the action will bind us. Why and how actions binds us? Because now we have to analyze. Lipyate nare. Why it binds us? How it binds us? So basically now, the nature of action is bondage. Why? Action cannot liberate us. Jnana can liberate us. Action can only purify us or stain us. Because the source of every action is ignorance. Na praptavyam, na kartavyam. We have discussed this in Taittiriya Upanishad. If I have nothing to gain, I have nothing to do. Even in Upadeshar, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Kruti maho dadho patana karanam. Gati nirodhakam. If I do not do actions, my gati, my progress will be halted. I will go in different direction. I will be bound by my own actions only. Actions means not only what I do with my hands, legs. Actions means what I talk, what I think, how I emote. So can we explain how the bondage happens? What is the bondage cycle? The bondage cycle is ajnana. Ajnana about my own self. That leads to karta bhav. No, I am the doer, I am the doer. Doership is there. So those people who have lot of doership, they get stressed, they get angry, they get upset, they get sad, they get tired very easily by emotions and actions. Gurudev says a flute doesn't worry what tune is going to be played by the Lord. I am just an instrument. So karta bhav will lead to kama, desire. Kama will lead to karma. Karma will lead to karma phala. When karma phala comes, there will be bhokta bhava. And bhokta bhava will lead to karma bandhana. Because doership and enjoyership are the core of bindings. So we are going to see later on that punya also binds us. Good actions also are going to bind us. Suppose I get attached to good actions. Like papa will bind us and take us to the lower world. Punya also will bind us and give us another birth in the different lokas. Again I will become zero. Again I will be on Bhulok. There are two actions of the results of the action. First is punya, which will give sukha. If I get sukha, then there will be like. That is the second action, which will create vasana. And the second option is papa, which will lead to dukkha, which will create dislike. Vasana. So there are two results. Outside and inside. Inside like, dislike. Outside dukkha, dukkha. So if I do a lot of punya, I will be so peaceful, then I will be bound by that because I'll keep liking it. And that there also there is bondage, there also like dislike, there also jealousy. In Siddhavadi, Gurudev was taking yajna. Two examples. One person used to come early and then sit very close to Gurudev, and there was a pillar. The person is to get pillar rest, back rest when he is to listen. And one day when the person came there, another person was there already. The person got upset, and whole time for 1.5 hours that she couldn't listen to the discourse of Gurudev because she was so upset with the person who took her seat. There's another yajna, another person. Whenever Gurudev completed the yajna and used to get up, she was the person who will take Gurudev's paduka and put near Gurudev's feet, and he will wear the padukas and go to Annakshetra. She was so happy to do that service. One day before she got up, somebody else got up and took the padukas and gave. She was so upset for 2 days, she couldn't listen to whole discourse of Gurudev. This is what people do, especially sadhaks. No, I have authority on the Swami. I want to serve the Swami and you don't serve the Swami, and I serve better and I will cook better. Somebody else does better, and this is how we fight in the punya karma also. These examples Gurudev only gave. So there are two results, punya papa, which will lead to sukha dukkha, and the second result is inner result, which is more binding, which is, so we are discussing how the bondage happens. So we must know what is the vishaya going on, subject matter. So it creates vasana, and this cycle goes on and then goes on, and we are aneka janma samprapta karma bandha vidayine. Aneka janma, for lakhs and lakhs of years we are taking birth because so many impressions are left over in our mind. We don't act without any impressions left over. What binds us in action? Selfishness, kamya karmas, desire prompted actions, ego, I-ness, minus. So Vedji gives one example that suppose I want to eat ice cream and I go out and all the shops are closed. Then I will so bad. Another shop is open. Okay, I will run there. That shop doesn't have the brand what I have. I will feel so bad, so depressed, so upset. But in the same way, suppose I am not interested in eating ice cream, but mother tells that, okay, guests are going to come, you go and get ice cream from outside. If I go outside, okay, I will go and get. I walk neutrally and I go and to the shop is closed. Okay, nothing happens to me, shop is closed. I will go to another shop is closed. Okay, with neutral mind, nirvikar, nirvishesh, I will go and give the mother back the money. Okay, shop is closed. I will go and work or I will go and play. Because I am not interested in having ice cream. So he says, second way is the way of doing the duty. I am just bringing ice cream for you because you told that you want to give to guests. I do not want anything. So whether I get ice cream or do not get ice cream, mother will get upset, guest will be upset. I will not be upset. So indicated here that in life for a sadhak, we have two choices. Either in life, meditate or act. Either renounce action and do Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam, if that is possible, Uttamadhikari. Do not escape action under pretension that I am now ready for higher level and I will meditate, but I will avoid my duty. That is what Arjun was doing constantly. Entire Bhagavad Gita, one message Lord told, you are not yet ready because you are not yet Uttamadhikari. And the same Lord told Uddhav that you give up all your duties and meditate. So three possible: inactivity, tamas, procrastination, dullness, inertia, laziness, eat, sleep, drink, repeat. Repetition is what is a sign of a tamasic person. Again, I want to repeat the same thing. Activity, rajas, two choices: selfish action or selfless action, God-centric duty. And the third is unactivity, sattvic action, activity done without doership. That is what is mentioned here. That is a duty which leads to chitta shuddhi, purity of mind, clarity of intellect. And Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that this action I must do. So next session, we are going to summarize Karma Yoga principles, because we are not learning like a brahmachari who is learning in an ashram, one text after another text. We learn Bhagavad Gita in different time frames. So as Upanishad has given two paths, we have to remember that these two paths are must. Jnana Marga and Karma Marga. And we must not underestimate either of them. So next session, we will summarize Karma Yoga principles and go to the third mantra, which is mentioned for a person who is neither following a jnana path, neither interested in the karma path. And what will be the gati of that person. And we will also see one interesting point called as Nahi Ninda Nyaya. Why the third mantra is there. And then we will understand why Lord says that. Suddenly why Lord in Bhagavad Gita or in Upanishad, we will find criticism about a lot of things. That you will go to Adhogati, Pranashyati. So we will see one very important concept, Nahi Ninda Nyaya, before we go to the third mantra. But before that, we will see the Karma Yoga principles, because we have to revise them again and again. And the invitation is that every day I must read these Karma Yoga principles. We must take a printout and keep it on our wall, because that is what we are into. Morning to evening, we are doing actions, but how to do the actions? What should be the attitude? We will forget. Why we will forget? Because Arjun forgot there. So there is a high likelihood that we might forget in our day-to-day life. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.